Today we have another student interview testimonial here, and this one is with Terrie Yarborough. Um, Thank you for joining me, Terrie.
You're quite welcome.
Um, so we talk very consistently. I mean, we're on the phone with each other almost every day, it feels like. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, but I would like to touch on, first of all, just something we were talking about off the recording there, which is how you got into crypto in the first place. I think it's an interesting avenue that probably other people are going to experience down the line if they leave if they leave crypto in the background for a while. They will inevitably encounter people who've made their money in crypto and think, dang it, I should have done it earlier. So what was your story starting into crypto?
So my husband retired and we decided to downscale and sell our house. And the realtor brought a buyer who wanted to buy our house for $2.6 million cash with his profits from Bitcoin. I'd never even heard of Bitcoin, much less the cryptocurrency. And so when he blew out all of these other people who were buying for the house, trying to get mortgages, and he walks right in, plops down all this money. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's Bitcoin? So that's how I became interested and introduced to the cryptocurrency market.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of profits. And
Yes,
also bold. He must have made so much more if he was buying the house in cash. Just there would have been other stuff he was buying too.
I would think so.
Insane. So,
He drove up in a Bentley.
oh, well, there's one expense right there. So from that moment to the moment before we started talking, what has that journey been like? Like where were you mentally? What was the deal?
Well, now that we're retired, we have to downsize our lifestyle. So we take the proceeds and invest it into gold and silver, and then we take a portion of that and put it into XRP to be exact. And we sat on XRP for over a year and did nothing but lose money. I'm trying to learn about the cryptocurrency market through YouTubers, and I'm watching all these people, and everybody has an opinion. And I got more and more confused, more and more frustrated. So I started looking for a program to educate me so I don't have to follow what some YouTuber is saying or some friend or somebody else is talking about, because everybody has an opinion. And if the masses were correct, the masses would be wealthy. The
Hmm.
masses aren't correct and the masses aren't wealthy. So I try to filter all of that out, but I didn't have my own rock solid foundation to go by. So that's where you came in with the block flow program. Initially, I was like, the cost of it was, oh my goodness, this is quite expensive. But now that I'm in the program, the cost has nothing to do with it. I have so far passed the investment for your program that now it's not even a consideration. And I feel silly thinking that, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to pay this money to earn all this other money. It's such an uneducated thought process that I recognize now. So the fact that I'm now been in this program, doing the modules, doing the work, it's very involved, extremely in depth. I've never participated in anything so involved in me creating my own financial future, my goals, finding out where I am financially today, where I want to be, how to bridge that. Your program does all of those things. So when you initially said to me, there's nothing else like your program out there, I thought, yeah, sure, sure. Well, I now believe there's nothing like your program out there. It's far too involved and in depth. The other programs that I looked at, as good as they were just about an entry and exit program. And those programs were cheap. They were fast to learn that information, but it doesn't give, those programs didn't give the invaluable, in-depth foundation to spring from, to be able to jump off into the deep end and be able to swim. Woo,
Mm.
that.
That was lyrical right there. It's like that was very nice.
That came right off the top of my head.
Thank you very much. Because also, I've built. I tried to say to everyone on the lead up to kind of them joining is the whole idea that I I price this thing so that the results are asymmetric. So I ideally want, and actually this is going to be an interesting thing. I want the person in a short period of time to 10x what they paid. And for you, that I mean that has happened and more even as of today. And we've only been working together for like 2 weeks, so I'm really, really, really happy about that, and really happy for you. And also, there's plenty obstacles that you've had in the way of like getting through all this material as well. Maybe you could touch on that quickly.
Okay. Um, I'm in my late 60s. I have not done any kind of educational type of programs in many, many years. I don't have technical computer skills, Excel spreadsheet, all of those types of things were beyond my comprehension. So when I jumped off the diving board into the deep end, I was like, oh my goodness, not only do I have to learn the language of the cryptocurrency, I need to learn these basic computer skills that most other people would already know, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
And then I have to be able to juggle all of this new information. So it was extremely overwhelming for me initially. I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And that's where I reached out to you and said, Lewis, I'm having struggles. I've also had a couple of seizures and strokes, so I have memory and cognition issues going on, which is very challenging. So I'll do a module and I won't remember doing the module until I get back in there to redo it. And I went, oh my gosh, I did this already. So that's where you came in, held my hand and said, listen, I will help you every step of the way, which took all my fear and anxiety away. And now I'm like, okay, even if I don't get 100% of this, I don't understand everything, I'm still 100% better off than I was prior to taking the program because I'm still learning boatloads. I am able to comprehend and remember, not to the degree that the average person would be able to, and I would like to be able to, but enough to be able to move forward. And then I have you to help me fill in my scary gaps to where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. Help me, help me. You're there, which I didn't expect when I first signed up for this program. Even though it was a mentorship program, I didn't expect the hand holding and the one-on-one mentorship that I'm getting from you. And that's tremendous with my confidence level and being able to, I mean, I'm doing this every single day. I have the privilege of being able to have the time to do this every day. So it's most exciting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is that's the key, that's the core benefit of the avenue you took with the accelerator. It's called the accelerator, but it's also the mentorship.
The
It's a very one-on-one version of the program. Um, yeah, and I think the earlier you can flag obstacles, the better. And there's no better way to flag an obstacle in your journey than to just send me a text. Like
Yes.
to have the ability to, instead of have to wait for the next kind of group coaching call, we've got a call always booked together, and you've always got my contact number. So
Yeah, so we have calls every single Monday with the whole group to ask questions that we of things we don't understand. Plus, you are right there every step of the way for me every single day. I can send you out a text message and you respond usually right away or within the hour. So I can continue on with my assignment with that response.
Yeah, because also if I don't respond very quickly, the obstacle can build for you. Like the friction to get the thing done will build.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's important, and that's why this one isn't. It's not one of the deeper versions of it. It's more involved. It's more mentorship. It's more kind of accountability. Um,
Because you do have other programs out there that aren't as expensive, that aren't as involved. You don't learn as much. You aren't there as much for that student,
right.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So for me, this is the ideal mentorship because I want that extra attention and knowledge that you have. I can tap in to your knowledge on a daily basis if I need to.
Yeah.
I'm too glad
Absolutely.
that I do that every day, but yeah.
You do, and that's great. And I, feel free to do that for the entirety of the 6 months as well. But also, what a graduation moment it would be to where you did if you didn't have to do that because you know what you need to know now. Like that.
Yes,
That's
that's the goal.
yeah. That's the
Oh,
goal.
and here, one of our students was asking about doing something else with somebody else because he could follow that person. And I'm thinking, I need to talk to that person because you don't need that. You've got this program to rely on yourself in your own education, and we have your mentorship to guide us in the interim. So, somebody who's just now starting, who wants to jump ahead to get their exit strategy can come to you and say, I need extra help because it's going to take me months to get to that
Yeah.
exit strategy, and I don't want to take that kind of time.
Yep.
I need it now. So you're there to help them jump ahead to do that. Then they can go back to the beginning and continue on with their classes.
Yeah.
So that
Absolutely.
was very beneficial for me
Yeah.
because I have an exit strategy and I'm not even halfway through the program.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've really expedited that process, and it also is necessary because of where we are in the market. Like
Absolutely, yes.
we have to move.
Oh, I would be so nervous right now if I did not have an exit strategy. I would definitely be pulling out profits just because of the fear of losing.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, and that's a good point. Like typically what people will do is the opposite of that. Everyone's different though, right? So that typically people will get overconfident and think it's going to continue going up and then just don't do anything about it. That one's the worst one. What you would have done would have been still acted out of an emotional situation, but you at least you would have been selling, because that's how you make the money.
True.
But still, the core of it is that it's emotion driving the decision. But we're moving now to a place with you where, um, we've experimented with the numbers and we've felt little drops of the emotion that you might feel at those different times, and then balancing that really according to who you are and the way you view the world. I think that's like the key. So now the way you're at right now is you've got your strategy. We have to kind of implement it. Um, but yeah, I think you're a lot more comfortable with the plan now. Yeah, is that
Oh,
how you feel?
absolutely, absolutely, yes. Um, this past year of not being in the bull market and the XRP just going sideways, and actually going down, put a lot of fear and concern into me that I didn't know what I was doing, which I didn't. So again, just having the educational background and knowledge and not having to jump on the other bandwagons of your friends and your family or just people, YouTubers, having your own knowledge and your own mathematical strategy that you put together based on what you need for your own lifestyle, where we are, where I am today, where I want to be, and how to bridge that difference. That was really remarkable, actually.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of this is just defining things, and we don't take enough time to define things. Um,
Because a lot of this stuff I have wanted to do in the past, but golly, it's so time consuming
yeah,
and it takes a lot of effort. And it's like, how badly do I really want to do that? Not bad enough because it's never been done.
Hmm.
But now I have goals, a vision board. I've never done any of that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm glad the first vision board we created was in here.
It was exciting too. Yeah, it was fun
It's
too.
a good one. It really and actually some I've seen incredible things happen that I've visualized and kind of repeated every day to kind of refresh that memory, and then it just ends up happening, even if it's really unlikely or really far-fetched. I've seen it. Um,
I have too, Lewis. What you're talking about is critical. When you put your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions out, and I'm just going to not get too esoteric here. When you put it out into the universe, or some people would say when you put it up to God or you put it into prayer, that's not me, but some people, for me, it's the construct, it's the universe, and when you put what you want out there and then you move towards it, it is going to happen. But if you don't have a concrete roadmap to where you want to go, then you're all over the board and you're not on a direct, straight shoot to your
yeah,
goals.
that's it. Yeah, absolutely. So, out of all of the program and all the modules that you've gone through so far, what's going to be in the has there been there are one singular thing that you can think that was the thing that kind of turned the light on?
Well, I found out that I have two different whys as to why I'm doing all of this. Where at first I thought it was just about being able to bridge, to be able to recoup that lifestyle that my husband provided before he retired. And then we had to cut back on our expenses. Well, I want to be able to provide the lifestyle for him and us that he's provided for me.
Wow.
I mean, he's done a stellar job over the last 17 years. And now I want to step up to the plate and be able to do that also. And I've never had the tools to be able to earn this kind of money from
Mm.
the comforts of my own home in front of my computer. This is everybody's dream, I would think, not having to get up every morning and do the hair and the makeup and the clothes and drive to work and do the traffic and all of that and put up with all the employees, co-workers, and your bosses. Don't have any of that. It's just all on yourself. You want to get up. How much time, effort, energy do you want to put into this? So I love that flexibility and freedom. And then there isn't any other investment out there that gives you this potential, this
Mm.
income potential. I mean, we are heavily invested in gold and silver, but it doesn't do this.
No. So when you say it doesn't do this, what do you mean? Because you've experienced this in the last couple of weeks.
In the
What is this?
last, what is this in how much detail do you want? Do you want financial details or percentages?
Let's do financial. Let's do in dollars. The one
Okay.
everyone it's the
All
level.
right.
Go on.
I started out with $100,000 in XRP. It dropped all the way down to 80,000. And that's when I said, I'm done with XRP.
Yep.
I'm going to diversify and go pick out the younger coins that haven't had a bull run. This is their first bull run. Well, then I spoke with you and I started doing the program. And then the election was coming up. So my husband convinced me into waiting. So I have made my account today is $228,000. So I've made 130, 40, about $130,000 in 2 weeks. Yeah, $130,000 in 2 weeks. Me. My husband.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It's
Pardon?
it's so much fun.
I've I'm allergic to mornings. I'm a nighttime person. I've been up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm hitting the computer, going to see what the numbers are doing. I'm up doing interviews with you. I'm up in the classes. Life has dramatically changed for me with the excitement and the enthusiasm. So yeah, this is just I am so glad I did your program instead of somebody else's program. Because
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't have gotten the whole 2 weeks up to this point. all of the work that I've done to put into the current lifestyle, finding out the desired lifestyle, how much money is needed from where I am to where I want to go. Nobody else is going to help me to do that.
Yep.
They'll help me with the technicals, you know, with getting in and getting out. But that's not going to give me the confidence level that I need to know that, hey, this is what I need. This is what I'm doing for myself. And listening to these other YouTubers is not what my personal situation requires. You know, in detail, my personal situation.
Yeah.
From, you know, my hardships, my learning disabilities, all the things I've expressed here on this interview, very personal. So again, the hand holding, the one-on-one, the gives me the confidence to and the hope that I can really do this.
Yeah.
The hope
And
for the
you're
plans.
doing it as well.
And I am doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess hope wasn't the right word because I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, maybe it's not the right word. I know I think we constantly exist in a state of hope because that's what we're conditioned to feel in crypto as like this distant hope, that distant view of the future that isn't real right now. And again, this is like market psychology, what is being displayed here. You still not convinced necessarily that you're out of that hope phase and you're actually doing it now. What I will say is that when the bear market comes and you've taken your profits and you look back on the bull run, you'd be like, that was it. Like I was doing it, and it will, you know, it takes time for that, I think, to settle in. So this is, I think your story I think will be one of the historical stories of this program because we did actually talk 2, maybe 3 days before the bull run, and that was when you were at your most desperate to leave XRP and diversify, and it was really a couple of days later, and all this money that's kind of come in as a result of that.
I was so close to selling XRP.
Yeah,
So very close. Yes.
it's like a movie. So it's been wonderful to watch, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you. But even with all of this, there will still be people who, you know, this hesitation about the price of the program, the hesitation as to whether it'll actually work and stuff. You're able to speak to that because you've been in that situation. So
Well,
what would
and
you
I
say
was
to them?
greatly concerned about that too.
Yeah.
I was like, before you get in, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know how involved, I didn't know any of this information that I'm sharing with you today. So I didn't know how involved and in depth. I didn't know how much time, effort, energy you put into it. I didn't know that you were going to be there to the degree that you are there. So I lost I lost my train of thought. Give me the
What
question again.
what would you say to someone who's in that same situation you were in now that you're through the other side?
Um, that the money to get involved in the program is so minuscule in comparison to what you're going to get out of it emotionally, directionally, and financially.
Right.
And when you told, because I was very concerned, I don't want to just toss away money if it's not going to work. So I addressed that with you, and you said to me, Terry, if you do the work in this program, and at the end of that program, you have not been able to increase your portfolio, I'll give you your money back. And I'm like, I have nothing to lose on that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be able to prove that I did the work, and there's a lot of work
Yep.
that goes into this. So that was a rock solid, I feel that that was a rock solid guarantee on your part, because if you do the work, you will
Yeah.
obtain the knowledge that you need to have a profit in this, and you will absolutely get your money back from what you invested in this program. That should be a no-brainer. that should have been a no-brainer for me at the time. I just didn't know to the degree that
Yeah.
how helpful this program was going to be.
Yeah.
So in regards to the money to invest, that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, I appreciate that because it's hard on my side to say, look, it's really like, don't worry about the price. The price is what the price is, but as soon as the markets kind of move a little bit, like it's going to disappear. The concern about the prices will disappear very quickly.
Well,
And
and again, for me, just having your guarantee that if I do the work, if I do your program and do what's required, I will walk away with the knowledge to be able to profit in this market.
Mhm.
So that is worth more than what I paid for your program.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
And it's lovely of you to say thank you very much because
You're welcome.
but it's also I hear that quite a bit from other people in the program as well. Like we've got a guy in here. He's not in the program so much anymore because he's already done it. And he doesn't need to be, which I love. But I'd like to see him more. Because he's a nice guy. But he was pretty much convinced that just the like emotional control value that he got from it was what, like he said, tenfold more than what he paid for the program. So I
Mm-hmm.
keep hearing that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
nice. It's obviously lovely to hear, but yeah, I'll emphasize that for anyone watching this who's on the fence. Like I think that's quite compelling, if I
I
do
mean,
say so myself.
again, by people knowing that you have a guarantee in this program. If you do the work, you will walk away with the knowledge to where you don't have to follow these other YouTubers
Yep.
and get confused because
Of
they're
course.
all saying something different.
Yeah. Yeah, they do, and it's so confusing, and it doesn't help.
No, it just further confuses. I mean, it's like you need to sell XRP now. It's never reached its all-time high. It didn't in in the second bull run. It didn't reach its all-time high. That's never happened with any other cryptos. It's only going to be blah, 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 blah. So it's critical for me to have my own self-confidence in what I'm doing and my own knowledge.
Yeah, that's the only
That's what
that's
I
the
want
only
in your
the
program.
only way to build a foundation of a plan is to make it yourself, because otherwise you can't trust the work of other people. Um,
No.
uh,
And just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you either. I mean, that's one of the things that I recognize because everybody's plan and needs and desires are so different,
yep.
and their vibrational frequency and what they put out to the universe and what they're going to get back, it's also different. So to be copying somebody else on YouTube is not the way to go.
No, completely agree, and I'm so happy you've said that. Um, okay, so I want to again we've got lots more time to work together. And I'm looking forward to all of it, the whole thing. Um, and yeah, this is one of the highlight stories for me of the program, uh,
Oh,
in its entirety.
really?
Like it's you've been a pleasure to work with as well. Like um you're you've got a lot of self-motivation. There's a curiosity and an intensity with the curiosity that is really helpful for me as the teacher. And you'll obviously always get results as a student like that. So it's been a pleasure working with you, is what I'm saying.
Well, thank you, Lewis. I
No,
appreciate
no,
it.
no problem. Um,
Well, I never, ever imagined me in this position doing such a thing. Um, so to be able to have the confidence and the knowledge, and right now it's only here, but by the time I finish this program, I'm going to have all I need. And here's the other thing that was a real huge uh, um, gift that was wow. The fact that you're working on more modules, more
mm,
educational information that you're just giving to your existing students, and you're not making us pay for it. I'm like, really? Wow. How awesome is that?